Trees 100 meters high were uprooted. The man was stunned. After staring at the giant for a few seconds, he finally reacted and got up to run away. But the giant, as if on purpose, stayed where he was. When the man ran dozens of meters away, the giant directly caught up with him in a few strides. The giant slapped him down. After the man was knocked unconscious, the giant crouched down to take a closer look. It's like making sure the food is delicious. Then he grabbed the man and prepared to leave. Seeing this scene, the captain bravely raised his sword and rushed over. He thrust his sword into the giant's ankle, only to be kicked away the next moment. Then the giant picked up the two men and prepared them to go back and cook a delicious dinner. At this time in the underwater hiding Jack atmosphere are afraid to come out, afraid that the next is their own. Fortunately, the giant did not notice and flew right past him. Jack, who had escaped, got up from the water and followed the giant's footsteps. Despite his fear, the kind-hearted Jack couldn't bear to run away without his teammates. Jack followed him all the way to the giant's lair. Inside, an ugly two-headed monster is holding the princess captive. The princess learned of the feud between the giant and the royal family during their chat. 100 years ago, monks used magic beans to create vines that lead to God in order to live forever. But when they climb to the so-called heaven, they are greeted by ferocious giants. The giant also crawled down the vine to the ground. They burn, kill, pillage, and even use humans for food. So the monks mixed magic and spells with the giant's heart to create a magical crown. When the king was crowned, the giants knelt down and begged for mercy. Then the king ordered them never to set foot in the world. Then they cut the vines down and cut them off. Until 100 years later, the magic beans are out there, and the giants will come to earth again. The giant returned with the two men and laid them on the ground. The two-headed giant actually picked up a man and swallowed him in one bite. Now, man walked fearlessly among the giants. The giants fell on their knees. Even the two-headed ones were forced to their knees. Then the man did not hesitate to step on him and stood in the other side's position. The princess thought she was going to be saved, but what the man said next made her hair stand on end. Saw the man ordered 3 days later to go to the world to eat a full meal. The giants all cheered with excitement. At this time, Jack also slipped in quietly, just in time to see a giant carrying the princess to the kitchen. Jack immediately followed. In the kitchen, the captain was stuck to the sticky dough, and the giant picked up a handful of flour and spread it. Then he pulls out his booger and eats it the next. The sight of the princess here only makes my stomach turn. The giant went on making his delicious dinner with his dirty hands. Just then, the princess was surprised to find Jack. The giant turned to pick out the kitchen utensils, but did not think that someone was eyeing his food. Jack sneaks up to the captain, takes out a knife to cut the pastry, but accidentally stabbed the captain's butt. Jack had to hand the knife to the captain as the giant chose his utensils and prepared to come. But what the giant did next made the captain almost pee his pants. He grabbed the stick and stuck it down. 1, 2, then a third. Fortunately, the captain survived by inserting himself in the wrong position. But the next moment the giant took the dinner plate and put it in the fire. The captain's face was burnt red. The giant looked again at the princess. He put the princess on the cutting board, and he was going to behead her. At this critical moment, Jack sneaks up and jumps down with a kitchen knife in his arms. The giant suddenly cried out in pain and grabbed his back, until the struggle hit the wall behind him. The giant finally unwilling to fall to the ground,